Oh, spoiler.
Yeah.
Got him.
What spoiler? Is this NSYNC?
That's in sync.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the MCA. Oh,
It's weird. I have been listening to them and Backstreet Boys a lot more as of late. Like, it's just randomly on more and more. I think they're making a comeback.
There you go. Just a quick funny.
Now they're margarita moms. Or mimosa moms.
Did you see it? I'll delete it. Oh!
No.
I DM. Did you see DM? All right, good. That's all. It's just because it's so true.
Pull the week.
It's actually very valid. It's insane how logical that is.
Nice that I know what they're talking about from a context clues.
Yeah. I don't, so we'll just drop this. Isn't like Big Time Rush about to do a freaking concert again?
I saw Otto was going on tour, something like that, or coming to the States or something like that.
What the
I don't
Sigma?
know. Yeah. I saw that she was doing a concert here in the States or something.
Are you going?
No, unfortunately not. I would love to though. I think it was on like West Coast or something.
All my money is spent on Anime NYC. Well, that the Hamilton and Broadway. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, chat, when a new servant comes out and the next day you see it in 120, that master's not normal. He's weird. He's not a good example, okay? I said to chat, when a new servant comes out and you see that servant turned into level 120 the next day, that master is not normal, and do not use that master as an example, okay? They're weird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
Okay, there's a difference. So you can prep, but this is JP. Like, you don't know what servant's coming. You don't have 2-year foresight.
Yep.
You can't just have, preparation just randomly always ready to go in this game. We don't have the storage space for that. Speaking of storage face, I have so many foes now. I don't ever need to buy foes from the store for the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
A good count.
Trust, yeah. If anything, profit. If you have the storage space, I would in your present box, I would get the foes in the shop.
I mean, I did. I have about 7 units in my gift box, and then Let me go count how many foes I put in my fucking archive.
Mhm.
I put about 10 units worth into my archive. And I know that's not going to be enough with
Oh yeah,
That,
all rolling for every damn.
No.
that is. Yeah. True.
56. Okay, so
But
that's what?
understand that the grand
60,
system is coming.
73, 400, 10,
Oh yeah. I hope you picked your sabers because they're not stopping. I mean, as long as she's, yeah, I was about to say, it's like as long as you got it like max level 10, 10, 10, you should.
460.
It's just nice to have because you can get Bonsi.
Oh,
So that's 23. So I have
right.
30. That's 30 servants I can foe. That's
Oh, okay.
That's not
a
enough.
lot. That's a good chunk.
では前に出ます。
では前に出ます. Hello, chat. How's it going? I just tweeted out the stream tweet. Do me the favor, go give that some love. And let me grab for you guys today's sauce. Oh, somebody already found the tweet. Okay, there we go. All right, I think we're good to go. Hello, everybody. Here is today's artwork. Do me a favor, go send the artist some love as well. A fantastic Malter. Hello, Field. So many banners? Yeah, there's a ton of banners right now in JP. I haven't even really looked at it myself. Oh boy. It's connecting. Hello, Arzus. Hello, Fuzzy. Hello, Aniko. How's it going? Why did the forward from the 500 plus mission not stack like JP did? What do you mean? Oh, that's why it was loading. It was relogging me in. Interesting. Okay, I was like, hold on. What's going on here? Chat, my air conditioning is still working. Oh my god, and it's got Salter on it. Holy crap. That's such bait for me though. It's actually some really good banners, not gonna lie. Like, they've done a good job of like pairing up some of the units here. So that there's kind of something of value in each banner. I will be honest though. I actually feel like for instance for like Jill DeRay and like Fergus, like with the permanent 3-stars, I actually kind of wish that they didn't like have a rate up at that regard. I wish like they all had like the Bedivere and stuff like that. I get it, but I would much rather have the like rare or limited 3-star than otherwise. Kind of obligatory chat. You got 400 foes in one stack? Did we? Remember that. Maybe we did. I don't remember how that worked. Yeah, some of these banners just have really good value. And it's still the assassins. Oh my god, man. Yeah, and then, so chat, we also have 3 times, like, rate on Saber Lily here, which is really nice if you're trying to, like, farm out Lily coins, for instance. Ton of feathers? Yep. 30 banners, yeah, it's just, it's freaking wild, right? Like, you can see it down at the bottom here, chat. Each one of these dots is a banner. So, like, say what you want, but FOMO is at an all-time low. This is probably the lowest that FOMO has been in FGO since the launch of the game. Like, the launch banners were the least amount of FOMO compared to everything that happened after them. This is the least amount of FOMO I think that's ever occurred in FGO. Welfares are pretty much all available now. And we're literally just sitting here with, like, every unit in the game getting a banner. So it's just, it's wild. I remember we would see that many banners during GSSR time. Yeah, GSSR is basically the only time, right? And they weren't like GSSRs are a one-off. It's like you do it once and you're done. This is, hey, you want that unit? Just keep gotching. You can get that unit. Someone was asking me that on YouTube earlier, Dominic. I think we could. I think it's actually a pretty interesting idea because I was only thinking about it from the 4-star perspective that they were gonna give us the like the Saber Lily, the Habitrot, and the Moon Cancer. God, why is it that their name always Hakunan? Like that they just basically they were going to focus on these, but yeah, I didn't even consider the 3-stars. The 3-stars are probably going to be there as well. Because again, you guys can see in those rotational banners, we literally have the 3-star limited and story locked ones. So it's like I don't see any reason they're not going to give you like the 1-stars, the 2-stars, yada yada yada. Now, ready for this hell in 2 years? Chat, I'm going to remind you all, there's no obligation to spend. Like, and I'm dead serious about that. I think I rolled on like the Archer banner earlier for Jarcher on JP. Besides that, I haven't touched these banners. So it's like, it's not like you go like, oh my god, every unit is here. I need to roll every single one of these banners. There's no obligation. All of these units will eventually receive another banner anyways. None of those are half cost for me. I'm just checking right now on anything on JP that I maybe need to do. That needs to get done. Did I miss that the first time around? I'm trying to think, because like I don't know how I missed this. It's Sabers? Yeah, but Sabers already had the rate up. I'll leave her in the back line, but it's probably going to be a Jarcher solution here. Actually, Jarcher can get going pretty well. Do I even want to use? Okay, there we go. Do I have a Ibuki on JP? No. And welcome to Friday chat. I made great progress on that return that I have to get out. So I'm sitting pretty. This weekend's going to be a relaxing weekend. Also, chat, Mother's Day coming up soon. Might want to do something about that. Just saying. Just a friendly reminder. Treat your mother right. You actually get Saturday off this week? Yeah. Yeah, I'm out of tax season hours and tax season like extra workload. My problem is I just have a fiscal year return, so a return that's not calendar year. I have a fiscal year return that's due coming up here on the 15th. So, and it's like the biggest one that the office has, so I have to get it done. But once that's done, I'm in the clear. So I don't got to worry about too much. Team of choice for the Hawaii node. I actually haven't touched the Hawaii node yet. Mostly because I was saving Storm Pods to do with you guys here on stream. So we can go through it. I can try to fashion something. I don't remember what I used on JP when I first did it. But it is an annoying node because it's got sabers and lancers in it. Whee! Go, Jarcher, go. Summer Okitan, double ruler Scotty. Yeah, I mean, if it works, go for it, right? As long as you guys have the capability of actually, like, doing the node. And like we were talking about before, remember, you guys don't have to 3-turn those nodes. Obviously, it's more ideal, but, like, if you feel like the node's health values are beyond you, you can try to do something where you, like, drop into just a looper type of setup or a, like, more challenge-esque environment. Where you kind of go like, okay, hold on, I need to do some stuff. With triple Summer Scotty, I see. I'm actually using my command spells for Bleach Earth nodes since they can be done 3 times a day anyways. Yeah. It's really nice that NA has that update early in that regard. Wait. Caster? Nani? Oh, right. I forgot I got Da Vinci on JP. Actually a really good pickup. I've at least leveled her skills. Why not? Let's do it. Love the art today? Yeah. Always like me some good made altar art. Our boy Kintoki. Let's just make sure he doesn't NP. I would just rather prefer that he didn't do that. I'd prefer some different stuff there. Nice, Jay. Nice song request. Will you roll for a deal call for Berserker when she comes in 2 years? Yeah, probably. A lot of people are asking me, am I going to roll her on JP? Just for reference, and so that everybody understands, I have an NP5 120 Zerktoria. I absolutely do not need Lilith, right? Like, there's no like necessity for me to have her. I think a lot of people really like her. People are excited for her. So please don't make any judgment based off of me not rolling for her as to like whether or not she's a good unit. She is, objectively speaking, good. Really? 88% instead of 89? You know what you're doing, game. Okay, let's do one of these. What buff would I give Kintoki? It's difficult because Kintoki's damage is actually still pretty good. I think his issue predominantly is that, one, he's not going to show well in a 3-turn environment, and 2, he's going to get the pants beat off of him in a niche. So people have already talked about, okay, what if you give him a multi-turn duration on his attack up? I do think that at least helps that 3-turn capability. Whether or not you want to use a single target for any sort of like 3-turn is enough to be said already. But I do think, like, people will tell you, it's like, oh, there's no value there. I'm like, no, there actually is value. There's plenty of times that you have to like try to 3-turn with a single target. So units that can do that naturally perform really well, and are very consistent when they have to. Ray, thank you for the 63. Appreciate it, my dude. And chat, can we get some love for Ray? But I think, like, to me, probably the niche is the bigger thing, because I think niches are what help you stand out. And so let's just talk about, like, him not having niches means he's not going to be at the high end of one-shot damage. If you're not at the high end of one-shot damage as a single target, you're going to struggle to be used. If you have niches, there are maybe times where you can exceed the norm and become that go-to unit if your niche is in play. So I think that's how I would do it. I would try to give him some sort of like, someone in chat mentioned it yesterday, but it's like an anti-demonic niche would be a really good one. Anti-Oni, something like that. You would at least have some uses for him where you could say like, okay, now is the time to use Kintoki, and it would make it really, really good. So I think that's how I would do that, because I think him already having the 50% charge, him already having at least a strong steroid with the attack up, I think he's okay there. I think the issue is you need to make sure that he has ways to stand out from the rest of the pack. NP damage is a slippery slope, yeah. And it's like, at least if it's niche damage, then there will be times where he does more and times where he doesn't. Oh, 2 0 APs to finish this. Interesting. I love how 0 AP counts as a run. Ah. There we go. Enjoy special sight. Oh, what did you send me? A visual, huh? Scrubs wanted me to show you guys this. I think he just means like how it like loads in. Looks really nice. Like, I actually do like this. So chat, this is the Saber like grand artwork. So kind of like how you guys remember how we have like the chess pieces, and those are what make up the statues for each of the various classes. Like this feels like it's designed to be the same thing, but it's specifically for a grand variant. And you can see behind it is class score depicted, and this is actually the Saber position. So I'm wondering if it's like, oh, you're going to get like an Archer one where the star is over here instead, and that'll be like how the archer one looks. Actually, okay, that could be really cool because the archer one, if I remember correctly, is like somebody basically pointing their bow like that. So you could get like the star being the point of the arrow on the bow. That could be really cool if they start doing stuff like that, where it's like each one of the points is actually where it is. Which, if that is, I didn't think of that at all, but that would be really cool. Archers don't use bows, we know this, yes. Hello, CZ, how's it going, bud? What are the chances the grand system requires the class score to be maxed out? I don't think it will, because they've already told us what the quote-unquote requirements are. So I'm going to take them at face value, and I'm going to assume those are the only requirements, barring, like, there's probably going to be a quest completion requirement, okay? So, like, for instance, there's probably a like, challenge quest-esque type deal that you have to do to unlock the Grand Saber. And it may be that you have to, like, take the unit that you want to be a Grand and use them through it, which, if that's the case, that's wild, right? Like, that'll be really interesting to see, because there might be some issues with certain units at that point getting it. But yeah, besides like I don't see there being any sort of like mechanical requirements other than that. Again, the requirements being the unit must be 10 10 10 and at least level 100. And I think now that they've told us that, that's what it'll be, because if there were more requirements, they would have told us more to help us prep. Right? Like, they wouldn't have kept us in the dark in that regard, I assume. And chat, there you guys go. You guys can see. You have the daily. I think these are just the normal dailies. Like, so doing your 3 runs gets you. Because, again, you guys noticed I didn't... I only actually did 2 combats and then 2 0 AP nodes. So, like, the 0 AP counted for it. But, as we were showing you guys earlier, right? Like, oh, God damn it. It keeps baiting me into coming in here. Hold on. Yeah, so we have tickets, and you guys can see you have your normal daily tickets still, but you also have these tickets. And what these tickets are, chat, they are exchange tickets. And they allow you to exchange for gems and statues, which is really, really, really nice. So keep in mind, the month of May is Saber month. You have these during your dailies. This means you should have the capability of getting 3 a day times, let's see, I think there's actually 31 days in May, right? Yeah. It's every other. So you're literally going to have the capability, chat, of getting 93 statues if you want it. That is a lot. That's significant, right? Like, just so you guys can see, boom, there you go. And yeah, I agree. It's a smart way of doing it. It's going to incentivize people to actually play on a day-to-day basis. And you're going to be able to get that stuff. Yeah, I don't recommend getting gems. Don't get gems unless you're just like, you're super hard up. But like, I really don't recommend it. All silver statues, pretty much. Not even the gold ones. So the issue with getting gold statues, and if you need them, it's fine, okay? But keep this in the back of your mind. There's a rule about gold versus silver statues that, especially if you guys are new, you need to know. And the rule goes like this. Usually, as you move up in terms of content, and I'm talking about the level of a node, not your master level, not your units level, the level of a node. So like a level 70 node is very likely to have like silver stuff in it, okay? But level 90 and up content almost always has gold statues in it. So what I'm trying to say is, as you do high-end in-game content, you're getting far more gold statue drops than silver. Silver will almost never appear in the end nodes because it's of a lesser like rarity and value. So very quickly in your account, you move kind of through the silver ranks into gold, and then you never end up getting silver statues. This is why people have a tendency, like you just saw on my account, I had 300 gold saber statues, but only like 120 silvers. So this is usually why people are going to tell you to pick up the silver statues, because there's really just not a whole lot of capability of getting these unless you go devotedly farm it. As opposed to golds, you will naturally get gold statues just from playing the game. You won't necessarily get the same thing with something like silver. So that's why a lot of people will tell you that. Hey, we Digimon, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. How's it going? How is you guys' stream? Soon to introduce the Platinum Grand Statue Monument soon, maybe? Yeah, probably, right? Like, I don't think they're going to do anything like that unless they raise the level cap or something. Hello, Iron. How's it going? Hope you guys are doing good. Again, thank you, we Digimon, for the raid. We were just talking about the changes that they had coming out today on JP with regards to the new campaign here, the sort of pre-campaign for the Grand System. And I was just showing chat. You guys actually just missed it, but I was just showing them the new exchange ticket. These are your normal, like, daily tickets that you guys get for resources. But now today, there are an extra set of tickets added to your dailies that allow you to get up to 3 new exchange tickets per day. And again, there's 31 days in March, so you can get up to 93 different exchanges in 1 month for the Saber materials, because that's what that new ticket is going to do. Is it's going to allow you to get gems, it's going to allow you to get statues and monuments as well from it. So you can exchange for up to 93 like silver or gold statues if you want for the given class. Really nice. And I suspect they're going to do this every month for each class as we move through into the Grand System. So that means you guys are going to get somewhere between 90 and 93 statues per class, which is really, really nice. We're back in March. Sorry, did I say March and not May? Yeah, it's really, really good. Waiting for Zerktoria because I want to get it in P2. Nice. But yeah, it's a really nice system. I think it's going to help bail people out. It's going to help get people ready for the new Grand System. And again, like you're still going to get your normal daily tickets, which is also really good. Yeah, it's going to be dust. You guys can see I've got a lot of this stuff just piling up in the corner of my mailbox right now. Also get the login bonus tonight. Yep. More mats, get the stuff sorted. I managed to pull Lilith as well. Hey, congrats. Glad you got her. How are you liking her? Have you gotten a chance to use her at all yet? Since we're already 9 days in. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. So yeah, no, in theory, you're not going to get the full 93. And who knows? We'll see how they do it for the other months, right? But I do think it's like, yeah, you're still going to get a good chunk. It should be at least enough to like allow you to level up the unit, let alone work a little bit more on class score. No, I mean, Peepo, I usually roll specifically because I desire the character more than anything. And I've always got a pretty good grasp on how good I think a unit can be. MP1 damage alone is scary. Yeah, we were going over it last night. I got my analysis video out for her today. And again, Lilith just basically she's Zerktoria tier in terms of damage. So like, I think you know, obviously people were excited for her because they just really like the character, but I wasn't expecting her to be that strong. 31 Sankrits, 24 tickets. Hope Andy gives me a good amount of Sankrits. Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about that. Kintoki at this point's left behind. He could really use a like upgrade to some degree. I personally am a fan of giving him like niche damage. That way he basically has ways to stand out without making him like the most broken thing in the world. Because like I was saying, it's like the problem that we have at this point is that you have Zerktoria up here in terms of damage output, and you have Lilith matching her, and so people are gonna be like, oh, that's not a problem, you know, she's even with Zerktoria. I'm like, no, the problem is Zerktoria was already like head and tails above everybody else. So it's like now you just have two people that are head and tails above everyone else. I'm like, to a degree, it's fine if they start raising people to that level, but they've got to start to catch up the back end in that regard. Like a little bit, it's a similar situation with MHXA. She's got really good damage output, but she doesn't really have any capability to like hang with the rest of them. So to me, they probably need to start looking at like in a sad way, like buffing her again, but possibly giving her some sort of like charge or something if they don't want to tweak the NP gain of that unit. On that charm turn, yeah. Well, so no, like technically Castoria actually still has the most damage possible out of the two of them. The difference is Lilith will be able to land charm far more frequently than Castoria will be able to land her super effective niche, which is threat to humanity. So it's like, I'm not going to say she can't use that niche, just that like she's only going to be able to use it in certain circumstances. MHXA, I'd give her a buff to refund. I mean, that's basically the number one thing holding Lilith back. Lilith can't Black Grail loop without cards. So, like, that is what actually keeps her sane. But if you start looking at MHXA is very similar. But Lilith at least has 50% charge, whereas MHXA does not. So, to me, MHXA kind of needs something in this regard at this point. Uh-oh. Oh, I think I touched the capture card as well. Makes me wonder what the 10th Annie servant is going to look like as well. Yeah, I like chat. I won't be surprised. I'm all right. Let me get this out there, because if I don't, someone's going to scream, and I would like to preempt this and prevent it if possible. Y'all are going to get really angry, but don't be surprised if it's another Saber face for 10th Annie, because 5th Annie was Castoria. Okay, so like I'm not going to be surprised if it's some sort of like Artoria variant again, and that's why I'm saying it. But the reason I'm saying this is, guys, you should be expecting that, right? Like, come on a little bit. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to make any prediction as to like what form it would come in, but you should be like kind of being like, oh, it's 10th Annie. That's a really big milestone. It's a really big deal. Yeah, don't be surprised if they do Saber again. For 8th Annie as well. Yeah. Morgan, aka Ace, aka Tonalico, was she was definitely a surprise in that regard. Maybe a Ren face? Maybe. That'd be cool, honestly. Like, I'm just saying to prepare you guys, because I know people will mold, right? Like, if it ends up being Artoria again, people will be like, oh my god, not another Saber face. And I'm just going to be like, it's very predictable. I don't know why people are going to get like that upset about it. For a single claw drop. Oh no. Feel like the game is trolling me? Yeah, that's called farming free quests for gold mats. He'll be Nasu himself as a servant. Yeah, I mean, I'm not guaranteeing it's going to be Saber, okay? There could very well be plenty of other opportunities that it could be, chat. I'm just preparing you for the eventuality that it might be, okay? La Tombe. Mm-hmm. Or an offensive Ivory. Oh, God. Paid extra character for FGO since there's the remake this year. Who said the remake is coming out this year? Chad, is that like Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out this year? Because I don't know if you've heard. It says 2025. Oh, what month is that then? What day is that? Now, chat's. I'm breaking the conditioning right now, chat. Here's the thing: if they give you a release date, okay, and the release date is this. You don't have a release date. This is not a binding commitment. This is a we think. Y'all have got to learn. It's tale as old as time. This has been going on for years. Years in the video gaming industry. If they only give you a year that something is coming out, that is not a release date. And it can absolutely be delayed, okay? Just keep that in mind. When they give you an actual date, so a year, a month, a day, you now have a release date. And I'm not going to say that that can't be delayed either. It's just that has a lot stronger chance of not being. It'd also be big enough for an A like that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either, honestly. I love when they give us a year and a season. Yeah, fall 2025. And you're like, oh, what's fall 2025, right? Yeah, so it's like, well then chat, like your brain is going, well, if they delay it a little bit, if it's a little bit late, it'll just be winter of 2025, right? No, let me explain to you how the video game industry works again. The video game industry works like this. They're aiming for fall so that they can get it out before the holidays to make a big cash in for the actual holiday purchases. So if they miss that, they're not going to delay it to the winter. They're literally just going to kick it until like the spring of the next year so that they completely miss the entire holiday season. Because if they can't hit that, they're not going to try and hit it in the middle of like Christmas time, because at that point everyone's already bought their gifts and nobody's going to try. Sullivan Man from Chaldea is actually feasible. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Yeah, I'm not going to say that Solomon wouldn't be hyped. Solomon would be. You would definitely have people like gushing over him and rolling for him, especially because chat, hear me out, okay? There are two ways to make people gush over a character. One, sex appeal. Two, gameplay. And even if you somehow were like, you know what, I don't find Solomon in any way, shape, or form visually attractive, he is still going to have one of the most busted kits in the entire game. You know it, I know it. Like, that is just straight up going to be the thing. They will kick it just before the quarterly earning report in the hopes of bumping up profits. Yeah. But it's also like usually how that works too. And the reason that they'll delay it that much, Ahado, is because, yeah, like the actual like fiscal and monetary side of things is there. But the other part of it is like now at that point, they're not just giving their developers like 2 to 3 more weeks. They're giving their developers 6 more months. And so that's one of the reasons why they'll do stuff like that. Cad, please, I'm in public. You're welcome. A Gundam collab from April Fool's video? Oh, God. Update, the game is needed for years. An option to turn off party servants being bumped to the top of enhanced lists. Wait, is that a huge issue? Like, I don't feel like I ever run into that. Because, like, I feel like you could just sort that out or select sort other things. You can turn it off. That's why. Yeah, that's why I was like, huh? Three giant robots. I mean, yes. Giant robots are definitely a way to get people to roll, right? I still need to do one more run technically to get rid of that storm pod. Whatever. Let's do... You know, I'm going to say this, chat. Hear me out. For each class, they should actually just make the Ember Gathering available for the entire month. Like, they could definitely make the rotation still occur, but, like, the Saber variant should always be on rate up. The only problem with this is, what do you do for the extra classes and Berserkers? And that I have no answer for. Actually, what unit do I even need to level? I think it's Caster on JP. Whee! I'll literally just, oh. Wait, where? I'm so confused. Did that... I guess it just was its own thing for the, yeah, because it was force support. That's why. God dang it, game. Well, if this is the case, then screw it. I'm still doing this, but I'm just going to switch what support I'm using. Five-star general pool embers, that'd be pretty good. That would be pretty good. You would never farm embers ever again at any other node. That's how good that would be. So they probably won't do that. That being said, I mean, you can make the argument that it's also the case with the bleached earth node for like your QP, right? Like, but yeah, it's the storm pods that would actually limit you. So, like, yeah, I guess to a degree, it's like if you could only do the 3 runs a day, it's maybe not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, that's usually going to be your issue, is if you just end up having a like hyper incentivized node. People are just going to run that instead. Wait, doing what, Avalon? Expeditus for the past year. Yeah, I mean, a little bit. That's one of the reasons why it's maybe not even necessary. Experience feels like it's so easy to get in the game now. And they actually are like, I think you almost have an issue where it's like, if you're not 120ing units, experience is a joke at this point. Which is one of the reasons why I think they want you to. The free interludes, I keep forgetting to do them to the last few hours before they expire. Oh, God. Is part 2 of the story over now? No. There is an end. We had OC4, but there is a end to it that's probably going to happen at the end of the year, if I had to bet. Like, we do know there is an end. They have announced it. We don't know when it will occur. My guess is, based off, like, they're kind of on like an 8-month average release for story chapters. You literally just hear at the end of April, got Ordeal Call 4. So it makes sense that like December would be the end. And it would probably fit perfectly into how Nasu always does things. I'd be shocked this year, to be honest. They said it's this year. Like that is one of the things they came out and said, is they said 2025 will be the end. So I'm going to take them at their word, right? Like, straight up, because they did make that statement, I assume like it's going to be at the very end of the year, but I assume it will be this year, right? Yeah, December 31st at 11:59. Delay it and have it end up in January. Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Just like we were saying about the Fate Extra release, right? Like, who knows at this point, but don't believe them. Also, Cat, I'm taking them at their word that it'll be 2025. Listen, I'm taking them at the FGO devs' word because of the track record the FGO devs have, right? I'm not taking the Studio BB devs at their word, considering they've literally tried to claim that there's nothing wrong with the release and everything's perfectly fine and going according to schedule, despite them already being in their hype cycle like 2 years ago for the game, and then it falling off the face of the earth for the last 2 years, and then us being like, where is it? And them having to come out and say like, oh yeah, no, everything's fine. So it's like, Studio BB, no, I extremely doubt. Like, FGO devs, yeah, I'm going to trust them on that. Yeah, this is an important year. I agree with Avalon. Like, they need to get everything right here. They're going to be behind the scenes. They're going to be cracking the whip a little bit, I suspect. Because this is 10th year. This is a big deal for the game. I don't think they want a repeat of year 5, chat. AKA, and chat, here's the big brain moment for you all. They don't want a repeat of year 5 because 5 years ago was COVID. Andre, thank you for the 69. I appreciate it, my dude. What? Yeah. COVID was 5 years ago, chat. It's like, oh God, what do you mean? It's still 2020. What are you talking about, Cat? There could be a new supervisor. Let's not wish that on ourselves. But how are you doing today, Andre? Hopefully you had a good Friday. Want 2019 back, right? What was I doing? I think I was coming in here to Blue Apple, JP. Yes, I was. There we go. Oh, now I'm capped on an A. Time has been broken. It hasn't, but it feels like it to a lot of people, probably because, like, to a degree, it feels like we've never properly gotten over it. Like, it feels like we haven't moved on. Time is in a loop, but it's still somehow advancing. Took a nap. Nice. We were just talking about the campaign on JP, Andre. You're now getting tickets for statues. What do I need to do? I need to do ordeal call with you guys. All right, chat. So what other nodes do I have to do? We did finish that challenge node yesterday. All right, so I have Northern Oceania. Why are the ordeal call CQs so hard? Honestly, to me, only that merman one really is. But yeah, they're kind of a dick move. To be fair, that's just how they are. Some of them are very, like, tough. I don't remember this one at all. Let me look and see what's in it, because I hate question mark enemies. I can't do the merman one. I did it yesterday on stream, so if you guys need, like, advice, go watch me do it. I did talk a little bit about some of the other possibilities for the comps, too. Is this the Columbus one? I have no idea. Going to go look. Oh, this is the Columbus one. This is Northern Oceania. This is the statue, or sorry, the gym node here, the skill gym node. Honestly, probably just gonna Tiamat this shit. Gonna tell this thing no, go die. Give me Oberon. He was already there. Who do I want to bond? Later, we Digimon. Thank you again for the raid. Appreciate it, my dude. Jerker maybe here in the back line. Let me hold on to my butt real fast. Let's make sure that this is as clean as possible. I doubt I actually need it, but better safe than sorry. Still too much. What is it? A 2-star that I need? Yeah, chat. I have an issue. All my 2-star and lower units are bond 10. I have 2 that I've bond grailed, specifically like Arash, because he's definitely a lot more usable even at that point. And I chose Gareth as a 2-star. Basically just for bonding. First world problems, very much so, yeah. Bloop. Turn on my teapots. Must have Gareth to 120. Nice. Okay. Damn it. I keep forgetting I want to start this out with Oberon on the front line. So this might be a command seal. That's not ideal. Yeah. Have her send it. Chat, I only have an NP2 Tiamat, so it's not me rolling in with a, like, insano NP5 or anything like that. Still doing very, very good damage. Better than my MP0? Understandable. Yeah, it's going to have to be a command seal. So at that point, let's just go ahead and use it. Three storm pods a day, 3 command seals, easy, pretty much. Like I said before, right? If the command seal just makes it easier on yourself, go for it. This is just me fucking up the party order because I keep forgetting. Just gonna give her the full chain. She's got all the damage on it. They're rerunning the Saber banners again? Yeah, and I think they're gonna do it for every class. Like, don't expect the extra classes to get rerun until probably next year, though. Like, beyond their normal schedule. But it's going pretty good, JC. How are you doing? Calm, cool, 109,000 master experience. Okay, so that's that one done. So the only thing, we've literally done everything, chat, except for Hawaii. And the reason I saved Hawaii for last, welcome to the node I will be sitting on. This is literally the one. So, I remember this is like Saber enemies. I think it's the crabs. And then you have a 400k Lancer Ibaraki on the final wave. So it's a spicy one. Chat's not gonna like me very much because I'm probably going to find a way through this. You know what? Let me see if I can get away with my Mordred. Where's my Mordred? Mode red. Why am I not seeing her? Because she's in her outfit. There we go. She's hiding. Blah, 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 blah. Can't get away with 0 AP unless I do this. Because I think I only have 2 copies of Rising Mudrain at the moment. I don't know. I need to do some spring cleaning. I passed it? Okay, yeah. Sorry. I was like, hold on. How did I not see it? By OK scope? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, wow. I have 3. No, I have 4. I only need 1 more. Okay, sweet. That's actually really good. So at 1 more, honestly, I know exactly what I'll do when I get 1 more of this. Since I have another MLB Duke of Flame right here, chat, I am just going to take this Duke of Flame and I'm just going to feed it. Just transfer the level 100 to the better C. Because Duke of Flame is just objectively worse. But for right now, well, actually, 2K attack. Versus 817 attack, but 15% more in P damage. And then 15% is going to get multiplied. At least for wave 3. I think the real problem in this node is going to be the middle ways, but we'll try it. So her charge order here goes 20, 30, 50. She should refund. I think it's 35% for Mordred with 2 ranks. I may be wrong. You'll have the other Queen Sky of 50. That's where your Oberon 20 is going to come in to finish that. Then she'll refund 20. She'll get her charge back. And then Oberon's 50 finishes it. Okay, yeah. Had to just make sure that I had the party order set up right. Let's see, chat. If they keep trying to drain people's accounts, right? Okay, let's pop that. A 5-turn cooldown so we can delay it. Oh no, because... Wait, what? Have I... Oh shit, I haven't done Mordred's... That's gonna make wave 2 spicy. That's an oof on my part. Womp womp, indeed. I gotta save for star buffs because you're probably gonna need it on wave 2. Well, I think I found something to do with the rest of my AP. $521, not quite 200k per. So this is going to be a spicy wave, chat. This will be a spicy wave. Okay. The good news is she will get stronger here. It's only 30%, not 35. So I'm going to pre-card and then post-card. Because I'm not going to use the Buster buff this turn. Not devoting to his saber faces is probably just Lotto. Because didn't we just get the buff here? There we go. Yeah, it was 471, so that's like... Actually, that wasn't bad. That was... like 160k per. So I think it was actually still fine. I don't think I needed a pre-card there. This will be the real test. Freaking banana lancer, man. There you go. She did it. That's repeatable. But I'm definitely gonna go do that buff. Had a pre-card with Morgan, otherwise I'm not killing in P2. Yeah, I mean, that's your issue. He's like, if man trait's not in play, Morgan's gonna lose a lot of damage, right? Wait. Was this also where we got 170 unlocked? Did I completely forget that? I feel like that was the case. Yes? Okay, yeah. It's been like, I've been so focused on detailing every other change that I just totally forgot that that was a thing. Because I remember I talked about it in a video earlier this year, and I was like, oh yeah, that's coming up here. Okay. I still have enough to do another run of this node. But let me go check my Chaldea gate here. I can let that one storm pod rot for right now. It's not like I'm in danger. The Galatea upgrade. See, chat? See? There are 2 saber faces I need to do, but look at that. New. This makes me feel better. I'm just gonna drop in with the exact same comp. SMH fake fan, yeah. To be fair, the reason I'm using my Mordred here and not Arturia, my Mordred is like inches away from being Bond 10. So that's kind of why. Overkill, but whatever. Chad, I don't have to be this merciless on these things, but I'm going to be. You'd actually be surprised, Cody. Especially with these storm pod nodes out now. No, like, it's actually really easy to catch up. Pretty sweet servants next year, yep. I need those upgrades immediately. Yeah, I usually sit on them for the most part because I usually don't. Unless it's like a really, really strong upgrade or it's an upgrade to a unit that I use all the time, I very likely sit on it and just say like, hey, I know it's there, but I don't need it yet. What the? Okay, thank you. Damn, I didn't get a buster card for her. Either way, I don't think I need his third skill for this. She'll handle herself fine. Save myself some time. Storm Pod nodes give tons of master experience, don't they? Yeah, you get like 100k. And that's chat. You get 100k. So imagine what that's doing to the bonding. This is why it's so easy to bond 15 a unit now. Like, again, behold. Look at that tiny sliver that she needs, right? I will probably hit that in the next day or two. Because that's just how these Storm Pod nodes end up working for a lot of this. No, god damn it. Also, I'm a 7k bond with a teapot. Yeah. Yep. It's just a thing. Whee! Damn, still a brave chain. Really hope we get coin refund on an A that JP got, where they get a bunch of coins for everyone and grails we couldn't cast. I suspect they will, and that's maybe one of the reasons to suspect why you won't get the other parts of the system yet. Cat is just showing you what not to do with upgrades. No, I mean, like, other than this exact scenario where I got caught with my pants down because we just had a lotto, so I literally couldn't do the upgrade. I very well, like, almost never end up in this scenario. So the rest of my upgrades rot because I don't use the unit and I wait for a half-cost campaign. Though, admittedly, that strategy has not worked as well over the past couple of years, simply due to the fact that JP has stopped giving upgrades like that. Who even needs an NP chat? And see, case in point, chat, gold berserker statue right there. Really? Are you gonna 120 Mordred? Probably eventually. I actually already, like, am in progress on that. I guess that's what we'll go do while I wait on my AP here. Because I'm just kind of stuck at the moment. Oh, wait, I think I was still pulling out the embers. Let me... Yeah! Give me the ash. There we go. No, I think I got them all. So did I get all my lower than 12 stacks out? Looks like I did. Oh! Thank God, dude. Thank God. I did not have my 5 stars on. If I did, that was my rainy day embers chat. So I'm not going to touch anywhere near that on the screen. Because holy crap, dude. Yeah, so all I did is I just pulled out the last, like, 100 stack that was there, which, like, yeah, I could have sat on that for a little bit, but whatever. That's not the end of the world. Already did that accidentally? Yeah. You still have embers left from last Gouda? Wow. Yep. Welcome to account management with Kadroth. And chat, some of you may look at this and be like, Cad is lazy. I'm going to tell you, you're not ready to have the conversation that this is what peak performance looks like. This is how to be efficient with embers. Actually, I don't even think that was a 100 stack I pulled out. I think that was just another, like, high stack there. Yeah, by the way, chat, behold the gloriousness that is a 24 stack from the last lotto. If I can start rolling out boxes, I think that's, well... No, I'm just going to free up more space because I know I'm going to need it. Let's pull out everything under... What do you guys say? Under 14? And this is how it ends up working for me here. Streamer luck? Not wrong. I have a single gold foe. I think you're psychotically optimized. It's kind of impressive. I am. I've learned long ago. Did I already finish rolling out boxes? No, I've only rolled out my first 10. I still have to roll them, but like, honest to God, it really won't take me that long. It's probably like a 1-day affair for me because the issue that I have is not rolling out the boxes by any stretch of the imagination. It's quite literally just mailbox micromanagement combined with needing to find a way to spend my QP down. That's it. Just those two things. Because you guys can see, I just dump all of my embers into one spot. It's not like I have to make decisions on this regard. Actually, do need it to stop super sucking, though. Because for Deal Call, I've spent over 1 billion QP. Just on class score or like on other stuff? So you shouldn't be able to spend that much on class score at the moment. But great sucking, please no. I need to be inefficient with my embers. Not really, but it's just like in order to not burn embers, I need them to at least be like not super sucking, probably. Do I still have the faux pas? Yeah. Yeah, faux pas can spend a bunch. QP goes quick? Nah. Nah. No, it doesn't, chat. Not when you're me, it doesn't go quick. Because I could easily fill that QP right back up. Like I said, this is me. Chat, all the embers I'm pulling out right now, let me make this clear. All the embers I'm using on her right now are not from the lotto we just did. They're from the lotto before that. They're from Christmas, chat. Like, I have not even rolled out my boxes yet. So I'm still going to get all of that crap. That's why I'm concerned about, like, efficiency here, because I'm very likely to lose some efficiency on this. Probably just due to me overgrinding a little bit, but it is what it is. Like, I'm not super worried about it. And so the whole reason that I'm not just like carte blanche pulling all of these out is because I do have some really nice stacks of Embers in here that are like 100 stacks. They're super efficient storage space wise. So I'm just like sitting on them and trying to keep them in there as much as possible. Otherwise, I can't use that lotto currency to exchange for tickets. Yeah. And that's the other thing, chat. So once I've bought all of the shop out, I don't have any other like use for that extra currency other than to just convert it into more QP. So I'm going to be getting about 6 million per box. That's going to add up real quickly. But I do agree. Chat's probably right to an extent. The faux pas are going to make this a little bit easier than it would normally be in this circumstance. That being said, I probably got to think about who I'm actually going to use faux pas on. Because, oh, yeah, by the way, chat. Quite literally, my entire support list is gold foed now. And I still have gold foes. Not use that stack. Like, y'all will probably see some posts for me in the upcoming days here of like, behold my milestones, because I've seen a lot of people already doing them. But for me, you're gonna get to see like, yeah, this is the efficiency unleashed. How big is your support list, though? Well, I'm just talking about one support list. But that means we're starting to work on the second support list, chat. I put a set of gold foes aside for Zerktor. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing the exact same thing. Have I been buying gold foes from the Rare Piece shop? I've bought a couple of late, but I have not historically I've not been doing that very much. I think I've maybe done it a grand total of like 5 or 6 times. Kintoki out of a job thanks to Lilith. To a degree, yes. But if you still have a Kintoki, no. It's just kind of up to you to determine if if one is better than the other and you need to use that one, right? Like, Kintoki's still a very capable unit. The issue at play here is that Lilith just does about the same level of damage as Zerktoria can do, so it's just it's kind of whack. But yeah, I'm gonna say Lilith isn't who killed him. Then it was Zerktoria more than anything. And this is just me making room in my mailbox at this point, chat. Whack Chan where? Shit's whack, dude. Lilith just making sure he's buried, pretty much. Get them in 5s, not singles. Yeah, that's definitely the issue. They're still inefficient, basically. I had to burn a ton of 4-star embers. Do you have all of your units leveled, Cody? Because that should be like by far your next priority. Will Cad roll for Lilith? No, I'm probably not rolling for Lilith. Like maybe on an A, but not JP. Any idea what is the next raid event? On an A? Is it Gouda Gouda? I think the racing Gouda Gouda coming up with Takeda Shingen has some. Like, I don't think it's a big raid event though. I think it's just a couple. Okay, there we go. So chat, taking out everything under a 14 stack. I still have 90 spots taken up. But that should be enough for now. I can start trying to fill up the box a little bit. There we go. We procced again. Onward. How many units you have compared to how many boxes you farm? Yeah, a lot of it, like where you'll end up having to burn embers is where you either over farm or you're simply bottlenecked because you like didn't actually get the materials that you need to finish leveling units, right? So I do see occasionally like newer accounts do stuff like that. Oh, that is all I have. Okay, so that should be that. We're at 24. That should be enough to do Mordred's rank up. It's probably just a 2-turn anyways. They're called servant coins? Yeah, servant coins are a different story, right? I will say this, chat. Consider the possibility that in the future you get more coins. Okay, because of the 4th and 5th append situation. So you guys are going to get more coins in the future. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're like, oh man, I need to burn experience, what you can do is instead of burning, you can start working on a 120 project knowing that you can't complete it yet. That's always a possibility. Nobody said you had to go straight to 120, right? Like, you can straight up be like, all right, I'm going to 106. All right, I'm going to 102. Like, nobody's going to care. Like, once you're already at, like, 100, chat, everybody knows if you go beyond 100, you're working on a 120 project. So no one's going to be like, oh, how dare this not be completed? Like, people know it's not a, like, FP baiting thing at that point. NP1 are wonky for 120, right? You can get 120 now on JP with NP1. But yeah, in the past, you basically needed NP2. I saw someone have a list of 102s that looked sus AF. God, please no. I mean, I will say at that point, like, if it stays that way, yeah, kick them. It's like if they're just going across the board and then it's like 104, right? Like, and they start just leveling everybody up. That could be like a weird strategy where they're just trying to level everybody simultaneously. But yeah, I'm gonna say that's sus as well. What? Okay. MP5 Balbon is stuck at 118. I need more coins. Yeah, I know that feeling. I've had a couple units get stuck at 118. Was considering kicking them. I mean, it depends on how long they've been stuck on that, right, Avalon? I'm gonna say after like several months worth of time, you can definitely kick them if they haven't moved any on that. To avoid burning too many coins, yeah. There you go. And see, this makes a difference because now we can just pop this on turns 1 and 2 and it's just front loaded. So this makes it way nicer for that particular node that we were doing earlier in the storm pods. Now, chat, I'm not going to lie. I know this can get quote unquote boring, but I would rather sit here and actually like roll out my stuff with you guys just so you guys can see a little bit of the process. I won't do this on subsequent days for y'all, but wee. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize I didn't touch the evocation leaves because I think I bought out the rest of the shop. There you go. There is now nothing else I can buy, chat. Okay? So I've converted everything up. Now all I can do is turn it into QP. You bought them? Oh, don't worry. That's why I bought them, chat. There's just nothing else I can spend it on. How soon will the next Evocation Fest be on NA? I think we have another one coming up right here. Or is it after Ordeal Call 1? I don't remember. But it should be here soon. Late May or like June 1st or something? Okay. So it's probably after Ordeal Call 1 then. Yeah. See? Chat proof. Line up 11. Now, chat. Here's how I roll out my boxes. iPhone has this thing called switch control. Lets me tap the screen in one place over and over and over again. He didn't just do that, he did. Look, Ma, no hands. This is FGO gameplay, yeah. And I mean, you really don't have to do anything even like this. You can still press it. It's not like it's going to take you that long. iPhone has that function? Yeah. Oh no, a bot? Nah, this isn't even a bot. You could argue this is like a macro, but even at that point, it's like, I'm just pressing this in one place. This is like, it's like, oh, hey, I'm choosing different cards and stuff like that. It's like, no, it's just literally just automating this. Which, to be fair, chat, throughout all of FGO's history, this has always been the one acceptable thing. People were always a fan of using auto clickers to open the boxes. It's actually why they started implementing things like the 100 spin, is because box opening used to be, you know how like the first 10 boxes are? That's how all your boxes were, chat. Imagine opening 500 back then. 10 at a time. Opening your boxes legitimately took days. Sounds like hell. It was. We had several instances of people not rolling out all of their boxes before the rollout period expired. Because it just took them too long. Your phone crashed every 2 boxes? Yeah, thankfully I never saw that. So my auto clicker ran out there. Oh, I'm going to press it for the rest of the way because I'm probably getting close to capping out already. Wasn't there a time you couldn't open boxes because of QP cap? Yes. Reverse QP hell. BlueStack saves my ass with it, pretty much. Hearing her say Garapon really grew on me. Understandable. I would do 50 boxes a day during the roll only 10 days. Yeah, you in the same way that you had to like pace yourself for farming, chat, you had to pace yourself for opening boxes back in the day. It was rough. It was like if you could open like 1 to 200 boxes in a day, you were like, damn, I knocked this out of the park. I did a great job. I mean, chat, you literally don't have to use a like third-party bot to do something like this. Even Android has macros. Yeah. Does anyone know Fate Grand Conqueror? No, can't say I've heard of it. Back when 5 stacks of Embers from Lottos were considered OP. No, 5 stacks wasn't considered OP. 5 stacks was just good. OP was like when you got like a 9 stack. And I know because I did. That was considered OP back in the day. Now it's like, bro, I don't even keep 9 stacks in my mailbox. I'm aware play. I also just don't care. Go. Bloop. Bloop. Yoink. Oh, god damn it. Yoink. Does lineup equal total boxes? Yes. That's the total boxes I've rolled out so far. This is just the 3-star Embers, chat. Yoink. Okay, so now depending on how I want to go about this, I can choose to save certain size stacks. Usually I aim for about like 12 and under. This time I might go for like 14 here, since I already have so many of the spots already taken up. And now chat's going to see really quickly that this Grail project's going to finish itself. You're going to cap that QP soon enough? Yeah. No, I mean, play. I expressly said what I was using. I would love to see Lasingle post a statistic on how many 3-star embers were burned during the 3 weeks lotto boxes were open. Yeah, that's wild. Like, I guarantee you it would be a ton. Oh, hold on. Let me see. I don't know. You guys burn 3-star embers? Yeah, free mana prisms. Also, God, it's been so long since I've heard Jimmy Buffett. I am adding that to the song list. I guarantee you when GTA 6 comes out, chat, there's going to be like just Jimmy Buffett songs all in it. You guys still need mana prisms? Oh, you'll see, Andre. The amount of mana prisms per month you're going to spend accelerates quite a bit. I don't think it'll run out anytime soon. Oh, don't worry, I won't either. Doesn't mean I ever want the possibility of running out. Because, yes, like, you can always go farm more bones, chat. Farming mana prisms is not fun. When I know there's no like big stat coming up, it makes it very easy to like just spam that. You mean FP Gotch is not fun? It's a heck of a lot more fun on JP right now compared to NA. NA FP Gotch is terrible. Coming back for FGO to farm and saw that they changed how you get mana prisms, Sag. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, to a degree, it's better in that regard. Rather than just getting the one-off from just doing embers, now you get them from doing anything. So the issue is purely that, like, the amount that you guys are going to spend per month can, like, skyrocket here. Are you going to play Elden Ring Night Rain when it comes out? Probably not. At least from, like, the gameplay that I've seen of it, it doesn't actually look that appealing to me. Because it's kind of like... It's almost like a mix between, like, a battle royale and, like... a like roguelike, which I mean, again, if that's your cup of tea, more power to you. But for me, it's like I usually just really enjoy the single player experience of the Souls likes. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know how much I actually care about that. I will reserve the right to change my mind, though. We also have, I think it's Doom the Dark Ages coming out. Which, at least, I'm going to wait to hear impressions of that one but at least it sounds like it's going to be more like kind of a little bit of a return to the original like reboot rather than Doom Eternal, because I was not a fan of Doom Eternal. Wasn't there a new Gears in the works? Yes, I believe so. And they're also, I heard the other day that they're releasing the entire like Gears franchise on Steam. Like they're doing like some bundle collection package thing. So quick to pull those out now. Gears of War is coming to PS5. Yeah. Yeah, I think for a long time, the Gears of War series was just, it was one of the Xbox exclusives, so nobody else really got it. I didn't grow up with Gears. I didn't either. Like, I'm not sure I'm going to be that interested in the Gears collection because I've never played any of the games, but I know people that love them. So I'm sure, like, to a degree, it's probably fine. It's probably like if you guys played Space Marine 2, it's probably very similar to that in gameplay style. Playing a big bulky boy. It's really good. On Kintoki app, is there a way to log your class score unlocks? I believe so. I think there is just an actual devoted class score section. I don't have it open at the moment, so I can't really show you, but it's somewhere in there. I never bothered with it. Oh, there you go, chat. She's already 116. She started off at 109 today. Just enough 10 coins to spare. Calculated. Hey, what's up, Snake? The story fell apart in 3. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what to like say or think about it other than just like I know people that fondly like enjoyed and remember the Gears series. So I always assume that if that's the case that there's value there whether or not it's like your cup of tea. Cuz I know like wasn't the Gears series originally based off of like Warhammer? And the issue was that like the devs couldn't get the ability to do like Space Marine 2, if I remember correctly. So they went off and they made their own Warhammer-like series of games, which is how Gears got started. Okay, that was that. So now, chat, I have gained 5 slots. All right, how many boxes did I roll out that I've gained 5 slots? Because that's probably not enough. I've rolled out 61 boxes, so I probably need to drop that to at least a 13 stack, if not a 12 stack, in order to like not be full up here. Because the problem is, as you start going higher in required stack size to go into your mailbox, you start getting them far less. So the frequency really drops. So it's like finding that like perfect even point that allows you to like fill up your mailbox that you're looking for. Whee! It's basically StarCraft in a nutshell too. Oh, really? That I didn't realize. So wait, so StarCraft was like based off of Warhammer? Keeps all the online from those games, unlike the Uncharted collection. I want to go back and play the Uncharted series because that's another series that I never played, and I've always loved like Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones, so I can imagine that I would just love the Uncharted series. But unfortunately, I think it was right at the beginning of COVID, PlayStation gave out like Uncharted 1 through 3 for free. And I missed redeeming it. And so because of that, I've always been like, I've been waiting for 1 through 3 to come to Steam, and they just never have. Hence why the Zerg are similar to Tyranids, yeah. You would drool at it. When you free to play, it's really hard to 120 a unit because of coins. It's gotten a lot easier on JP at least. Because like the 4th and the 5th append add more coins to your bonding. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I still think they could have handled that better. But it's still, I would argue it's still pretty possible to 120 as a free to play. Sony is dumb. They did U4 first. They should have started with the OGs. They did U4 first, but like they did U4 like 5 or 6 years ago, and they haven't done anything else since. I have 6 120s on JP as a free to play. Yeah, I believe it. I still believe MP5 and SSR should get you 120 in all appends. I agree. Good Nutty Dog sucks right now. I like. Yeah, to a degree. Like, I don't want another entrant in the Uncharted series. Now that Druckmann's the one in charge and they got rid of the writer for the Uncharted series, like. No, I've seen into Druckmann's mind at this point, and I've seen enough. Have I played 4? No, I haven't. That's why. Like, I was like, no, I don't want to play through 4. I want to play through 1 through 3. Then consider whether or not to play 4. Does my fingers hurt for so many taps? I mean, I tap once, and you guys can see it's like it taps 5 times for my once. Druckmann wrote Uncharted 4 and it was great. I doubt. Druckmann did not write TLO1. He co-authored it, and apparently, by all accounts, the vast majority of the heavy lifting was done by the female writer that they got rid of. And that's one of the reasons why it was basically so good compared to when Druckmann had full control over TLO2. Well, I'm just going to let that game speak for itself. If you really like it, go for it. But absolutely, I think TLO2 like massacred the story from 1. Uncharted 4 is fine, but it's not better than 1 or 2. Okay. There's 2 writers on Uncharted 4. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it may be a George Lucas type situation where it's less about like that that Druckmann doesn't have talent, and more that like if there's not someone there to act as a foil, he does like stupid decisions, right? So if there's no one there to tell him he's being an idiot, he'll just keep doing it. Amy Hemming, yeah, there you go. Wee! Wee! Actually, I don't know why my inventory for servants is so full. Because I only have the 1 gold foe. And yet, like, I'm sitting at 608 out of 700. Hold on. Okay. That explains things. That's going to be a pain. That also explains why I had it filtered to 3-star. You played TLO2? No. I watched someone do a full playthrough of it, and it just convinced me not to buy the game. Though, to be fair, I was already convinced by the first, like, 5 hours of the game to just not ever get it. TLO 1 was good enough. Oh, yeah, no, 1 was... I wasn't the hugest fan of the gameplay of 1, but the story to 1 was really good. But, like, 2? Oh, God, no, they butchered the story. I'm sorry. I just... Oh, that is, to me, that's one of like the dumbest stories I've ever like suffered through. And it was like, it was so much to a degree that as I sat there watching the person play it, as I was watching through all the cutscenes with them, I was like, I can't believe they keep doing this. I can't believe they keep like doubling and tripling down. If the story was better, the game would have been a 9 out of 10. Yeah, like from everything I've seen and heard, they at least improved the gameplay aspect of 2. It's just like I just didn't care. Like the story just made me not care about it at all. And I think the biggest issue I have with 2 is that 2 went on to receive a record-breaking number of like 10 out of 10s and 100 scores, and then 1 game of the year, despite being by far the most controversial game released that year. Like, I truly, truly believe Ghost of Tsushima got robbed. I believe Hades got robbed. I don't even think TLO2 was a top 10 game that year, as far as I was concerned. So, like, that was the issue that I had going into it, was that, like, it almost got, like, magnified by everything else going on. Not only was the game itself a problem, but then you almost were just rooting for it to fail at a certain point. Because you were like, holy crap, they can't keep getting away with this. 100% paid for Game of the Year. I have an unconventional, but like probably, I'm going to say like more realistic take. I don't think they paid for Game of the Year. I think the games media just wanted it to be Game of the Year. I think the games media wanted to push an agenda with it. And I really think that's all there was to it. I think they're the ones that vote. They wanted it. And that's why they were the ones giving it the 10 out of 10. Story direction and Game of the Year, yeah. Like, I get that people thought it's like, okay, it did all this avant-garde stuff. Like they went a different direction than anyone would have expected. But I'm like, chat, you guys got to remember around the same time period, like, still fresh in everyone's mind was the Star Wars sequel trilogy that had come out. And it's like, yeah, they also did the same thing with that. It was a, direction nobody expected them to take. That didn't make it good. Like, rug pulling is not necessarily a good tactic. It's good for shock value, but it's not going to, like your story still has to be able to stand on its own. Okay, so let's keep everything, I'm going to say 12 and or everything under or over 12. An unskippable cutscene. Yeah, that's... I know exactly which one it is, too. And it's the... Chad, have you guys ever seen the GIF meme ensemble set to Mr. Sunshine that, people do for, several different IPs? The one for The Last of Us 2 is GIFs of that sex scene. And it's literally... everybody mocking it and all of their replacements of somebody basically getting buggered from behind. Sometimes the obvious cliche route is obvious because it's the correct one. Yeah. Wild, right? It was just a game they remade to today's standards, not even a new game. Yeah. Check them put Oblivion remake game as Game of the Year. I don't think they will, because I think the media darling right now is Clair Obscur. Clair Obscur to me seems to be the front runner. It probably, by all accounts, should be Monster Hunter Wilds, but Wilds kind of screwed the pooch. They kind of messed up the launch of the game, especially the optimization of it. So I don't think it's gonna get the recognition it probably deserves. But my understanding is Wilds is still the best-selling game of the year at the moment. Oh, no, please not sell. Okay. Cliches become that because they were proven to be great during that, which used correctly. Yeah, I a lot of storytelling. I've told you guys this before, but it's a lot of storytelling, modern storytelling especially, just follows the journey of the hero. It's the classic writing trope, and it works because it taps into your emotions and your desires as a human being. If you start getting too far away from the journey of the hero as an archetype, naturally the story starts to become worse. And I say the journey of the hero, right? Like, that is still a very broad concept, right? You can substitute the term hero with like protagonist and it works. So the idea behind it is less that it has to be like some sort of fantastical journey with like your stereotypical hero. It's more about like your protagonist has to go through certain trials and tribulations in order to make the audience empathize with them, in order to ultimately triumph and make you feel good about not just the story that you read, but also yourself in general. That's why that trope as a writing concept works so well. And so it's like, naturally, I think if you look at something like TLO2, one of the biggest problems that you have with that is they couldn't even redeem the story in the end because the message they were trying to send doesn't accurately come through, which is the message being that revenge doesn't pay. And the reason that doesn't come through is because the protagonist learns that lesson multiple times over and does it again. It's the actual Goofy meme of, I'll fucking do it again. And it's like, basically your protagonist never learns. And that's one of the reasons people really hate that story, is because essentially it fails to deliver even its moral message in the end. The character is somewhat irredeemable in the fact that they just keep doubling down and keep doing the thing that you shouldn't do. So it's like, I guess you could argue it's a cautionary tale, but it's a cautionary tale that leaves literally nobody satisfied and ends in the worst way possible. If you were trying to truly make a cautionary tale, the main character would have died at the end of it, and the main character does not. So to me, it's just this like middle road of it's trying to be edgy and avant-garde, and it's not actually trying to teach you anything. I'm gonna give up at the end because revenge bad after I've killed hundreds of people. Yeah. It's like they keep doing it over and over again. Everyone that I know that has tried Clair Obscur seems to love it. Yeah, I think the issue for me is, while a ton of people are trying Clair Obscur and everyone that's tried it loves it, there's also a ton of people that are not trying it. So there's like, I think Clair Obscur, I'm not going to say it's a bad game because I don't think it is, right? But I think there's definitely a realm of, I think Clair Obscur has done a fantastic job of gatekeeping. So if you're somebody that doesn't like turn-based RPGs, you're not going to touch Clair Obscur. If you're somebody that doesn't like Grim Dark, you're not going to touch Clair Obscur. If you're somebody that doesn't like French, you're not going to touch Clair Obscur. So it's like, in a weird way, everybody that tries it, it's right up their alley and they love it. But everyone that doesn't like that sort of thing just is not giving it a chance. So it's actually like, it's doing a fantastic job gatekeeping itself, because all the impressions that you see of it are like just absolutely glowing, and you're not getting any of the haters to play it, which is a good thing, I think. Like, it's an actual recipe for success. And it's why old games are always remembered so fondly, is because that's just the way old games used to be. If you didn't like a bullet hell game, you didn't go play Contra. If you didn't like a puzzle solver game, you're not going to go play The Legend of Zelda. So it's like, at the end of the day, games that sort of self-gatekeep always are more fondly remembered than more controversial games that are trying to pander to too wide of an audience. Rather, like, they basically are trying to please everybody, so therefore they're not like more narrowly focused, and they end up pleasing nobody. So if you look at something like Clair Obscur, it's pretty clear what its archetype is and who it's trying to please, and that's exactly what it's doing. It's doing a really good job of it. And where's its genre on its cover? Right. I think the sales show that people outside the turn-based bubble try the game, to be honest. I don't think it does. Because, chat, let me ask you a question. Which has sold more? Clair Obscur? Or Baldur's Gate 3? Yeah, BG3 is still the much bigger game. Chat, allow me to make a point. Baldur's Gate 3 is your turn-based fans. This is no knock against Clair Obscur, but the point I'm trying to make is people will try to make it sound like, oh, turn-based fans are not a big group of people. They're the biggest. They're far bigger than action games. I hate to break it to you. There are far more people that grew up with turn-based games and still love and enjoy them than the much newer, younger crowd that likes action and prefers it and refuses to touch a turn-based game. Most people will play both. So it's like the turn-based community is actually gigantic. And this goes back to, chat, remember, action games are a much newer invention. That may shift over time, right? But at least as it currently stands, there's still a ton of people that grew up with that, and it predates even video games at that point, because you have things like chess, checkers, board games, whatever. Everything is turn-based in natural, like, entertainment value, and it's not really until you get to the more, like, modern video game here where you're starting to see action really pop off. Baldur's Gate 3 introduced a whole new generation to turn-based games into. Yeah, I agree with that too. I think Baldur's Gate 3 got a lot of people to try it, and as a result, it works perfectly for Clair Obscur, because now people are more willing to try a turn-based game, right? I do agree it's better for games to find their niche in terms of self-gatekeeping, if you mean. Yeah. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, games that are designed with a specific type of player in mind are always going to be better than games that try to pander to every player imaginable. Because if you're that type of player that a game is trying to pander to, you're going to enjoy the crap out of that, right? Like, it's going to feel like it's custom tailored to you, and you're going to feel like it's the best game ever, compared to a game where you're like, I mean, all my friends are playing it, I'll pick it up too, right? Like, where it's like, it's just this popular face roll of the month thing, rather than like something that is necessarily up your alley, something that scratches your itch, right? I think there's a bit of Dark Souls apologists that tried Expedition 33 for the ambiance. I could see that. And like I said, I think while there are people that are like turn-based games are superior, and there are people that are like action games only, like the people that are like the staunch, like to one side or the other are the minority. They are by far the just super vocal toxic minorities. Most people play both. Most people, it's like, it's not the style necessarily that matters. It's actually how it's done that matters. Depends on mood. Yeah. Like I said, I think it's like some people will be like, oh, that turn-based game sucked. They just didn't execute it right. It's not what I was thinking it was. It's not my cup of tea, yada, yada, yada. But the same thing can also be true of an action game. Chad, how many like mindless hack and slash action games have you played? Like, how many times have you seen where it's like, oh, an action game didn't really uphold its end of the bargain. It didn't have any replayability. It felt pretty brainless, and you were just kind of drifting your way through it. That's where I'm going to say it's like, it doesn't matter the style of game. It matters the amount of like polish and effort that they put into it. That Final Fantasy 16 gameplay was really shallow, though. Honestly, I thought like 16's gameplay was rather good. The issue that it had is that it was like puddle deep. It didn't really feel like it had a whole lot of depth to it. So as a result, you didn't feel like you had much replayability. You didn't feel like you actually had the ability to like do anything very different the second time around and like mix things up and go with a different play style. Everything was just very much like par for the course, and a second playthrough would feel largely the same as the first, which is another example of why I have not been back to play 16. And probably why, to an extent, like they were maybe hoping to double up with people that had purchased it on PlayStation, also purchasing it on PC, and I doubt very many people did. Like, for instance, I haven't purchased it on PC because I have no real desire to play through it again. The story was fantastic, but the story was literally the best selling point of the game. The story, the music, and the characters were all good. The gameplay is actually, to me, what suffered the most in it. And chat, I hate to say it, I love Samurai Remnant, but it's also largely the same thing with Samurai Remnant. 118. Here we go, chat. The final stretch. Uh-oh. Get me out of here. I don't want to accidentally grail someone I don't mean to. No, RPG stats sucks. Yeah, it's really interesting because I see some people like, oh, RPG stats don't matter. They're like, it's always just pick like strength or dex or int. And like, it's just boring. And then at the same time to like, so it doesn't matter that like 16 and other games like it just have a boring system because it's not engaging. I don't care about it. It's like, to a degree, you don't care about that. That's fine. Other people do. Other people like having that choice, that stylistic choice of how to play. So it's like when you dumb stuff down, when you take that stuff away, you're just naturally making the game have less nuance to it. And that's just going to make people feel more bored. You're calling it boring already to begin with, but you're now just making it boring for everybody instead of making it more engaging for everybody. You should be going the opposite direction, not making it simpler. There is a point where it's like you've made something too complex and nobody wants to get into it. But I think it's like you have to find that happy medium of like, yeah, hey, this works. This is actually like, it's a good amount of complexity, allowing players to make interesting choices, combined with it's not so like so crazy difficult that it's like it's almost exclusionary with how it's designed because people just can't seem to grasp the concepts. So it's like it needs to be simple to understand, but have the ability to be able to like make choices along the way. I just really liked how different the endings were. Yeah, like I said, same deal. It's like I think the story for Samurai Remnant's what's really good about it. The gameplay is better than the prior Fate games, but I think the gameplay sadly still leaves a lot to be desired. You should always pick health, attack, and maybe some dex. Not always. Depends on the style of game you're playing, right? Like if your game has magic build or ranged builds or, you know, like strength builds, they're naturally each going to have like different advantages and disadvantages. No such thing as a happy medium. Talking to the dead all day is depressing. Thank you, Ern. I appreciate that joke. Well, I don't know. Hold on. What if it's a happy medium because they're one of those grifters that doesn't actually talk to the dead? And so they're just robbing people blind? They're one of those cold readers where they're just playing off of your own insecurities? There we go. So this time rolling out the box, instead of going up 5, I jumped from 95 to 114. So that literally ended up getting me a good like 9 just by doing that. And honestly, I could probably get even more. So how many did that get us? We're up to 110 boxes now. Where's my QP? Whoops, not the summon screen. Nice try, game. QP's at 1.3 mil. So yeah, I could still do another rollout session here. Can probably do another 2 to 3. They aren't a medium, they're a sham, but they might call themselves a medium, right? The RPGs, I'm very picky because not only do they take a long time, but they may feel like they may not be right for me. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, some people prefer a more fantasy RPG. Some people prefer a more like sci-fi RPG. Some people prefer a Wild West RPG, right? So it's like, who knows what it is that you like? It's something that only you can decide what your interests and tastes are. But that's actually one of the things I really like about RPGs. And at the same time, you'll see people that are like, oh, I hate RPGs. But then they're off playing like Call of Duty or something like that, or heaven forbid FIFA. And guess what, chat? Those games all include RPG mechanics in them now. So you're like, oh, that's interesting. So you hate RPGs, but they include the things that the games you're playing include RPG elements in them. FIFA is dead, Cad. Listen, FIFA, football club, whatever you want to call it. I think one thing that impacted 16's gameplay for feeling boring a bit was how there was a mini cutscene whenever you use skills, which kind of slowed it down. Yeah, I do agree with that. Though, to be fair, a lot of games are going that route, where they're going for, like, the hype montage more than anything. Yeah, here it is. I sent it to Bob the other day. This has been making the rounds on Twitter chat, and I actually agree with this. I don't think Yoshi P's a bad dev, but I think he's got the wrong idea. So it's like he came out and he made comments that like said, "Oh, the term JRPG is basically a slur," and that like what people want is they actually want like action RPGs now. And it's like, no, you're just fucking wrong. You're an idiot if you think that. I'm sorry. Like, I get where he's coming from, because I think for someone like him that's been making Japanese video games for years, the Western media has been basically like saying like, oh, it's a JRPG. And like, they've been using the term in a negative light most of the time. They basically denigrate those types of like games, and I think it's like that's them writing them off, right? Like, it's them not giving a JRPG a fair chance. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I think JRPGs are some of the most like beloved and like kind of just storied styles of game throughout all the years. You look at something like Final Fantasy, and it sold millions of copies and was one of the biggest gaming IPs. And they're killing it because they don't want to give the fans what they want, which is they want a traditional RPG. They don't want it to become another action game. There's plenty of action games out there. People are not going to let this go with regards to Final Fantasy. People still feel like Final Fantasy got robbed, that it has lost its identity. that all it is now is it's just a nostalgia trip where they keep using the same names like Phoenix Down and Chocobo, but they're not actually giving you the style and the new systems that were expected of a Final Fantasy JRPG. JRPG was being used in a derogatory way. Yes, thank you. Sorry, I know I said slur, but that is kind of what he meant, right? It was being used in a way to denigrate the entire genre. One obnoxious indie game dev definitely shamed some JPRPG devs rather hard. I mean, I'll say this. I do think Japan has an issue in a lot of their and to be fair, this is pot calling kettle because America has similar issues where in a lot of Japan's industries, they're either innovating like crazy or they're the polar opposite. They are like completely set in their ways. They will never change anything. They will just keep reproducing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And it's like, maybe find that happy medium again, right? Like find this point where it's like, hey, we innovate enough to keep things fresh, but we also try to keep things similar and familiar as it has been in the past. Hellfire, thank you for the 44. 3 minutes of reminders from Twitch. Oh no. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate it, man. Why does the media hate JRPGs? Okay, chat. Games journalism. I'm a firm believer. This is my pet theory, but like I believe that a lot of games journalists are journalists who worked in games rather than somebody that liked games and became a journalist. AKA, they're a journalist that couldn't get a job at another major media outlet, so they had to take the video game coverage job because it was the only journalism job they could actually get. And I think as a result, that results in a lot of, honestly, like brain dead takes and really like stupid like articles that they just keep doing for clickbait and stuff. So I think that's a portion of it. I think the other portion is I think you end up... All right, hold on. I'm trying to get the... There we go. I think the other portion of it is you have people that are basically trying to push an agenda. They are trying to drive that clickbaity stuff. They're trying to just generate revenue, and they will stop at nothing to do so. They will both simultaneously push their agenda on everybody else and simultaneously spew any amount of filth or lies as long as it gets them the views. I don't think it is. I think most games journalists never developed a game or tried to. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, that's what I'm trying to say is I don't think games journalists are people that were like, I think maybe half of them, I'll say half of games journalists are probably people that like video games. The other half are people that are just doing a job. Okay? And so I think at that point, the half that like video games still have their own feelings and agendas to push and still have to toe the company line and do clickbait articles. Whereas the other half, they just hate video games and they hate everything about it. So like their agenda is like, they don't like that it's predominantly male dominated. They don't like the sexism that goes on in it. They don't like whatever sort of thing goes against their political ideology. You name it. And so like, that's where I think part of the issue exists. The other part is, hey, I just gotta like try to generate revenue to keep my job. So it's like there's just a like bad mix there at this point. But I do believe that you have a problem where it's like at this point, the best games journalists are basically content creators because they're the ones that actually have passion and aren't just necessarily trying to clickbait you down the river. I'm not going to say content creators don't clickbait. We absolutely do. It's definitely the chief problem amongst us. But I think what you see, at least with content creators, is more of a desire to like the product in most cases, rather than just simply full on hate it because it's not fitting with your agenda. Games are still considered childish hobbies in Western media. Yeah, I agree with that. 100% to all this. Thank you, Pro. Appreciate the follow. But yeah, I sadly think that that's just the way things have been for a lot of games media at this point. I do believe that while I've said all of that, chat, I do believe that it's still a good thing to have journalism, to have media that keep these companies honest, okay? My issue with it is that a little bit we have, at this point with media in general, just this free reign where it used to be that your reputation was on the line. You could get kind of barred from working in the journalism industry if you were publishing like falsehoods and lies. Nowadays, it feels like it's encouraged to produce that stuff and just to try to like spin things your way, rather than being like, hey, that person just blatantly made something up. It's just a hit piece is all it is. Maybe they shouldn't be working in journalism anymore. I think that's the way things should be, where it's like, if you're going to, instead of publish an opinion on something, the way you should be doing is you should be publishing the truth, aka the facts of whatever's happening, right? So like, just give me the facts. Don't tell me how to feel about it, but instead everything is now opinion. Okay, it's like me as a content creator, I can give you my opinion on something, but you also are just more than welcome to disagree with it. What the media is supposed to do is they're supposed to report the facts, and they're not supposed to give you the opinion. Opinion is in the realm of like the consumer. It is literally you as the end point are supposed to form your own opinion from the facts. And what we're trying to see, or what we're seeing nowadays, is this jumping towards this opinion side of things with news, where we're trying to control what the opinion is. We're trying to do battle over that rather than focusing on getting the facts right. So there's very much why you see so much stuff just jumping immediately to the worst possible conclusion, and then later out it comes out that it's like, oh yeah, that wasn't even true at all. It's because the person writing the article didn't bother to fact check anything and just were like writing because they needed to push an opinion more than anything else, or they needed to like get the bait in to get you guys to click the article. But yeah, it's almost like, in a weird way, we have everybody like fact checking each other on like social media. It's like the media is who needs to be fact checked all the time at this point. I hate to say it. So it's like, it's a good thing to have media to keep these studios, these publishers honest. But holy crap, none of them are doing like investigative journalism anymore. None of them are actually going in and trying to get interviews with the developers and publishers. None of them are trying to figure out if they're up to no good, if they're doing scummy things behind the scenes. Everybody is just, I'm going to say this, chat. There are no more games journalists. There are content creators and people wearing the like hat of media that are just content creators in disguise. Let's be honest. That's all they are now. They're just a group of collaborative content creators pushing an agenda. Because that's where the difference is. They're not doing the things that give the actual journalism, the actual games media value anymore. They're just going, oh, so-and-so released a trailer. Here's how you should think about it. Oh, so-and-so didn't put enough diversity in their game. We're going to shame them for it. Like, they're focused entirely on the end product and controlling your opinion and not on actually giving you guys the heads up as to like what's going on. Like, hey, by the way, this game is falling behind in its production schedule. Hey, by the way, this game just talked about what their plans are for server implementation. Hey, by the way, this game has hired this new dev that's actually this storied and celebrated historic dev that you should know about and should get you hyped for the game. They're not doing any of that. That's where the value of media is actually getting into the muck and the nitty gritty and finding out what's actually going on, not controlling the opinion. My access, it's all content creation. Yeah, it really is. So it's like, it's really sad, but this is why you see so many content creators and media butting heads now. It's because they're in the same industry. They didn't used to be, but media has sunk to the level of a content creator now. They're not at the higher level of the pursuit of truth and stuff like that. Because, chat, keep in mind, the difference between a content creator and media, content creators have an entertainment value. Media has a truth value. But media is not giving you that truth value anymore. Media is going into the entertainment. They're trying to get you to click their story more than they're trying to tell you the truth, which will drive you to click the story. Journalists are also part of the marketing wing for the corporate publishers. That's also an issue. Oh yeah, 100%. And I hate to say it, that's also the issue with normal modern media with the political parties, so. I'm fine with opinions. I just want them to be open about it and just say, we don't like this game for our personal beliefs and values. Honestly, yeah, that would be way more okay to me if they stated that. Because you guys know, it's like, I tell you guys the same thing. It's like, if I feel like I don't like a game, I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to be as truthful as possible. And then I'm going to tell you, it's like, you don't have to feel the same way as me. So that way, you know, I'm not sitting here trying to control your opinion. I'm not being like, how dare you like Claire Obscure, chat? Claire Obscure is a game that you should hate. How dare you not have that same opinion as me? Shame on you. Like, no, I'm just going to be like, hey, maybe I don't like Claire Obscure. And here's my reason why. But you know what? Claire Obscure seems like it's being liked by a lot of other people, so maybe you might like it. Go give it a shot. Go try it out for yourself. That's encouraging you to think on your own. Like, that's being the polar opposite of controlling your opinion. That's telling you to have your own opinion on the issue. Old Bungie was the bomb, man? Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that there's like some sort of legal battle with Bungie, but I haven't heard what it is. Because I know Prophet was talking about it earlier. Yeah, it's like, to a degree, I don't mind opinion either. But I think at this point, opinion and trying to control what the opinion is has taken over the major like service that media is providing. It's no longer about like providing you with the news and the facts and then letting you form your own opinion. It's all about trying to control that opinion and trying to use that to generate revenue for themselves and revenue for their friends. Some guy claiming they copied his work in some form. Interesting. Basically just being an actual human. That's wild, right? We don't get people actually being actual humans anymore. Honk? Hello. They're being sued for copying D2 story. And they can't use their own game since they removed the content. Wait. Hold on. I'm confused. Destiny 2 is being sued because the story from Destiny 2... Like Bungie's getting sued because the story they used for Destiny 2 was stolen. That's what you're telling me. Allegedly. So what is the plaintiff like claiming? Like who is the plaintiff? I don't know anything about this, so feel free to tell me. Feel free to influence my opinion. Because, like, yeah, I legitimately have not paid any attention to Destiny 2 in a hot second. T2's main story isn't even that good. I think that sort of thing's always a relative point. Did I not? Oh, I thought I burnt all of these. Oh, don't link it to me, because like I don't want to read it right now. If I'm super interested, I'll actually go read it. But this is more for like topic discussion. So just TLDR me if you want. I will trust chat in this capacity. And because I'll trust chat, because if chat lies to me, somebody else in chat's gonna be like, no, that's not true, CAD. This is the actual value of having a true public forum. Somebody will call you out on your bullshit, usually. Trusting chat? I know. It's a wild thing. You can sue anytime, anywhere. Right. Destiny 2 sure was a video game? I don't believe you. Ooh, chat, a 17 stack. That's rare. The actual music video? No. Damn, true Sigma mindset. No, you can't get my number. Allegedly copied story bits from the accuser. Yeah, but like, so the person that's alleging that Bungie stole their work, right? What was their work? Like, was this just some sort of like fanfic that they had written? Was this some novel that they were writing? Like what's going on there? It's a sci-fi writer. Okay. Because they vaulted the content. Oh, that's right. No, I did remember hearing about this. Like, people were laughing because they said that like Destiny basically like got rid of some of their original content. And so as a result, like they don't have the proof to exonerate themselves. I don't even think it's a published work. Well, something like that doesn't necessarily have to be published if somebody had access to it, right? So it's like if you could prove that like, oh, I was best friends with the lead writer, or like, yeah, but I mean like I was talking to the lead writer at a party about my story, like you can basically establish that connection where it's like, oh yeah, he totally heard you, he totally took it. It's like it does depend, but yeah, it's like that doesn't necessarily prove anything. Just because it wasn't officially published. Your ideas are still technically your own. WordPress technically is publishing. Yeah. Just got back from a family get-together. Nice. Hope you had a good time. I'm doing all right. Just working a little bit on the lotto boxes here, talking with chat. If he deleted the content, he can't prove it either. Yeah, I mean, like, I assume he didn't, because otherwise, how do you bring the suit, right? The court won't allow Bungie to use videos or wikis as proof, saying that it's third party. I believe you shouldn't be allowed to use a wiki as proof. However, videos, I mean, if you produced the video yourself, I don't see why you couldn't. But yeah, maybe there's an issue if it's like, oh, they directed a third party to make a video for them. That doesn't necessarily exonerate them. I can agree with that. Because it's like so chat, this is like me commissioning an artist to make a copyright infringing material. The artist might be none the wiser, right? If I was like, yo, bro, draw me a stormtrooper, and then like Disney got mad at me because I did that, right? And it's like the artist had no idea what a stormtrooper was and they drew it anyways. They're just like, oh, that's some cool concept art. Let me draw that. So it's like, it's pretty easy to see how you can direct someone to do something like that. But again, this is just me kind of speaking in what ifs and not knowing the actual situation. Like YouTuber content creator lore videos and summaries, yeah, that shouldn't exonerate anything. I do agree with that. Because, like, how do you judge what is official content and what, like, the content creator themselves altered the content to be, right? It's basically, it's not a first-party source. So that I understand. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing by the court to say such a thing and to disallow it. Because again, at the end of the day, technically on Bungie to save that stuff. It's current song pro. Oh, we're so close. Come on. Getting there. You guys can see just how long it takes, though, to, like, 120 a unit. And I'm not talking about, like, grinding the embers. I'm talking about just the act of, like, feeding 4-star embers to somebody. It takes forever. It's why I understand why they added 5-star embers to the game. I don't think this will be enough, though. I think I gotta go back to the mailbox. Oh, come on. You didn't start from 100 either? No, I know. Now that super helped. I think if I get another proc, maybe, but I think this is like the last stack. Oh. See, chat? This is why I don't need to roll Lilith. I have Lilith at home. Oh, I didn't get it as it actually was showing that. There we go. Well, I'll be ready for the grand system on an A chat. One more to go. Uh-oh. Wait, really? Am I shy on coins for her? Uh-oh. I need 300 coins for this. So I need 90 coins. Holy crap. You just missed a banner? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't roll for the extra copy in that regard either. I'm just going to bond her. That's going to be a problem, though. Good thing we got the Ordeal call nodes. Going into the back line of every single one of my comps. That's got to be Oberon to work with that. But what I can do is I can drop the craft essences here. Perfect. If your summer Oki Tan is up to snuff, she can work with just double summer Scotty. Yeah, I mean she is, but it's fine. Like I didn't need the buster ups even for that, so I should be good. Although, well, how tight is she on refund? Like, cause I need to know what chat's doing. I assume you guys are Black Grail looping her. So that means maxed out mana loading, her own 30% charge, a summer Scotty 50. Yeah, you only have another summer Scotty 50. Don't need Black Grail. You can 3-turn it with traces. What's your Oki Tan? Like what MP level are we talking? What Grail level are we talking? MP5? Level 100. Okay, see, I don't have a level 100. I have a level 90. I mean, how clear are you on damage? And what's the refund like? Because, yeah, if it's starting 50%, maxed out mana loading her own 30%, then you at least have a scenario in which you can do both of that. I'm asking this specifically for a reason, chat. So what's her like refund per turn like? Because it has to be over 50 for that to work. Refund is roughly 60-ish. Okay. And what's damage like? Are you like clean clear, or does it sometimes leave health? What Mysticode are you using? Using 2004? Or are you just plug suit? Okay. When you're done with primary saber faces, who will you grail next? The secondary saber faces. Wild, I know. I'll stick with this comp for right now because like may as well, right, chat? But I'll probably switch to that Okitan variant then. Yeah, what's wild, chat, is I think I have like, let me see actually. I only have her mana loading. So that's 120 coins for that. She's also Bond 10. So I've gotten 330 coins. It needs Bond 13. I know. Yeah, it's pretty high. Does that include Lakshmi Bai? Why would it not? Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of how many coins I actually have from Bond 10. Because I don't remember exactly the breakdown of how it works. Because I think it's like... in the old system... No, sorry. It's 1 through 6. 7 through 9. And 10 through 15. You have different increments. So I think the total that you get from bonding is 180. I think this 120? There's 60 divided up here. Which I think this is 30. And this is 30. It's 3 levels at 10 each and 6 levels at 5 each. Yeah. So I think... okay, so then this is what? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is 6 levels at 20 each then. So that means I should have 80 coins from bonding specifically. If I'm understanding that correctly. Which then I love how I'm doing all of this from memory, right? And then that's 80 coins from that minus the, what did I say I had? I had 210 here plus another 120, so I had 330 total. Minus 80 is 250, which is what, 5 copies at 50. Yeah, so I haven't gotten an extra copy of MHX or MHXX. I've only gotten the 5 copies. That's all I was trying to figure out, was had I actually gotten an extra copy of her. Avalon probably has a spreadsheet for it. You're probably right. It's also probably in one of my videos. But chat, remember, those values changed. JP has different values now. So that's me remembering the old values off the top of my head. Like, that's why that took me so long to be like, because I had to walk myself through it as to like, wait, I remember it's 180, And then I was like, why do I have a feeling it's like it was 10 through 15 and it was 120 coins for that? I had to work out the breakdown. But it just is what it is. But yeah, that's gonna be rough. I gotta think about this. Because Double X is the one I want to do, but man, I screwed the pooch on that one. I did not remember that she needed that many coins. And 10 through 15 at 20 each? Yeah. That's literally what I just figured out. I just had to backdoor my way into it. Oh man, that's gonna be rough. Wait, chat. Wait, don't we have a 4-star ticket coming up this year? Freaking hate the pop-ups, man. God, there's so much crap going on. So, September 10th, okay. So, like, the issue at play here is going to be, do I really want to wait that long? And the answer is, I don't know. This will literally come down to how fast can I reach Bond 13 on a unit. So, that's not a desired place to be, but I think I'm going to do it. Because, like, it is what it is. Like, she gonna get there one way or the other. I have her 120 on JP. But that's because on JP, I was rolling for 1 copy of Gilgamesh, and I got, like, 7 copies more of her, despite already having, like, an NP2 of her before that point. So I ended up with, like, 9 variants of her. Common Echan's 120 projects? Nice. Substitute Double X with Mixa, no one would be mad. Oh yeah, no, I know. It's just these were the ones I set up to begin with, so I'm committing to the bit, chat. Does anyone know when Constantine gets buffed? I think is it next year? I want to say it was last year that it happened on JP. Yeah, it definitely makes him a lot better. Oh yeah, no, I completely agree, Kyoba. I wish we didn't have to do that. I think it's a really stupid way of handling things. Like, I prefer a scenario in which, like, we were able to, like, farm coins somehow. And to be fair, chat, this is an entirely, like, temporal issue where because I already have her working into Bond 10, into Bond, like, 11 here, just, like, hitting Bond 11 with her with the, like, Bond coin change for the 4th and the 5th append would probably satisfy my coin needs. So it's like, that's one of those deals where it's just like, it would work itself out eventually anyways, but I don't really want to wait. I'm impatient. I'll do it one way or the other. And it will kill, chat. He's cracked for now? Yeah. Which Abby? Okay, there we go. Now we're up to 130 slots. We're already at 156, so I'm like about a third of the way done with my boxes here. Oh, summer? Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's Aunt Annie. You did just speak about not needing to finish 120 immediately. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So it's just me proving my point, right? To be fair, this is how my JP operates. I think I have like Ace get like 106 or something like that on JP right now. I had Castoria at 112 for years until the fourth and the fifth append. Yeah, I think Grand System is the next goalpost. Which, in a weird way, depending on how they do the Grand System chat, won't be much of a goalpost. Because some of us, like me, I'm already well ahead of things on an A. Like, again, this is my ninth 120 on an A that we're working towards. And I mean, we just got given a crap ton of grails. So, like, I could very easily have a 10th done. I could very easily start working towards an 11th. So it just is what it is. Like, by the time the Grand System rolls around, I will already be well ahead of it because I'll have had 2 years to prepare. Like, for instance, right now, my entire account list would qualify. Sorry, not entire account list. My entire support list would qualify for the Grand System in each of their classes. They're already all Bond 10. They're already all level 120, not even level 100. And they're already all 10, 10, 10. Keeping steady, then rushing to a destination. Yeah. McQuain is about to be Bond 15. Yeah, don't take her into Bleached Earth if you don't want her to be Bond 15. I have a feeling most players have 0 120s. I don't know. I would say most players probably have like 1. And that's probably what the average is. Because, like, for every one of, like, me that has multiple 120s, there's probably several people that don't have one, right? So I'd say, like, the average is probably 1. Yeah, I can't emphasize to you guys enough how much the changes on JP absolutely, like, changed the capability to get a 120. Like, prior to Anniversary last year, yes, I think the people that had 120s were pretty far and few. Now after that, I think a lot more people can achieve 120, and I think a lot more people have. Because, like I said, I think the issue with the system was not that people didn't want to 120. I think it's that people wanted to but couldn't. Now people can. I think about my 120 commas in the future. Yeah. Alright, hold on. Let me pull the plug on it, see if that gets it to stop. It's not. I have to wait until the, like, okay, there you go. The macro ran itself out finally. I had to be careful with how many times I pressed that because I've had my macro running before and had the, like, screen tilt on me. And it almost dialed, like, the emergency number on the iPhone. And I was like, hold on. Like, let's not go that far. Don't press that button. I touched the capture card. Manage your QP well and you'll be fine? Yeah. Would it be a problem that we have one less lotto in 2026? No. Lottos are actually not that good for Ember farming, considering 5-star Embers exist. It's like if you're just doing the lotto for the Embers, like they're definitely a great asset to it, but if you're just doing the lotto for the Embers, it's kind of defeating the point. First-star Embers suck? No, first-star Embers are still fine. They're still as efficient as a 5-star Ember is. You just need more of them. The issue with 4-star Embers versus 3-star Embers is that 3-star Embers are patently less efficient. But actually, if you're trying to burn QP chat, 4-star Embers are better. Not when you're past 100? Yeah, I mean, it just takes no, I mean, it's still as efficient. It just takes more of them. That's all it is. You do them on half AP Embers to get 120 faster? Yeah, that's definitely the fastest way. There's also, chat, the issue of if your class that you're trying to 120 is an extra class, you cannot farm 5-star all Embers. So you just naturally end up being a little bit less efficient due to that. It's not the end of the world. 5-star Ember is still worth a crap ton, but that is kind of a concern. Doge cam. Uh-oh. I see one of the Doges is up. I think that's Sasha. Sasha's like really furry right now. Like she's got like a ton of extra floof on her coat that she's like blowing out right now. Put 5-star runs instead. Funny that you say that. They actually, if I remember correctly, did that with the last lotto on JP. They didn't replace it with 5-star Embers, but they basically took the 3-star Embers out, put more 4-star Embers in to replace them, and gave you more mana prisms. So it was actually the best of both worlds. You got the equivalent experience had you used the 3-star Embers on experience, and you got the equivalent mana prisms had you burnt the 3-star mana prisms. So it actually was an improvement. Yep, there we go. Whoa, cool down there now. Doggos, I've missed seeing them. Yes. And they're always there. You guys can always redeem Doge Cam. Less time burning junk you don't want. Yeah, I mean, like, you guys can see how I usually sit there and I have to go through like 4 to 5 iterations of pulling out all my silver embers and burning them. So just imagine completely getting rid of that, how much time that saves. It's like, oh, wow, yeah, that actually really helps. And there you go, they're back. Yeah, so it was Sasha in the back there. Oh, no, never mind. That's Sasha actually up front with her back to us. That's Nico looking at us. I think they switched places, which happens quite a bit. One of them usually will like get annoyed that they're not in the position they want to be in, and they'll go like shove the other one out of the way. Like they have plenty of room in that cage. It's just like they get like territorial in it. Not do that. Okay. Don't fear the Reaper. Are you ever gonna bring back Florida Man story time? Maybe. The problem with that one is that basically we were already at the point that we were receiving repeat stories, and 2, people would like chain request it so much to the point that like it felt like everybody would always request it on the days that I was super busy, and then not at all on days that I wasn't busy. So it's like you would basically only have it happen where it's like, oh, I have like 3 things I need to do for chat today. I don't even know if I'll get them all done. And someone's sitting there spamming Florida Man story time. So it's like, I actually like the redeem. I have no ill will towards it in that regard. But it was at a point where it was like, it was actually becoming prohibitive to content creation. Get an AI to make up more stories? Oh no, you don't need to. Is my dog pick? Oh god, yeah, I do have to do that for you. Sorry, that got lost in tax season, Darty. Just is what it is. Yeah, I'm also thinking of rebooting the Conan server for this weekend. So it's going to be a fresh start for everybody. And I was just curious if anybody else would like to join us. I'm sitting on a doggo redeem. You probably are. Had the Barbarian weekend? Yes. Including limited 4 stars too? Yeah. Which is what makes this like, oh, hey, I could bail myself out if I still haven't bonded her up enough in time. Though, to be fair, chat, with the Bleached Earth nodes, oh, it's absolutely possible to get her all the way to bond 15 before September. So it's like, I hate to say it, those nodes are super efficient. Y'all need to be careful with how you're bonding at this point. Holy super proc Batman. Okay, so we pretty much have enough to get her halfway through right there. Very likely to get cream held. Yeah, a lot of people usually go for limited or story locked units when possible because just the very nature of them makes them hard to get. Permanent units can always spook you. They're also, at least when you start considering coins, they're worth less. So, like, bang for your buck value is to generally get a, like, Story Locker limited unit. That way you get the full 50 coins, you get the harder to acquire unit, and it may prevent you from having to roll. Doing that present box grind, I see? Yeah. I needed to get a head start on it, because I don't want to leave this all till the last second. You can bond out a unit in like a week if they let you, pretty much. I guess the moral of the story, chat, is the Bleached Earth nodes are super efficient. They always have been. So like that's something to keep in mind, is that works. It's like a double-edged sword. It obviously works in your favor. Getting more bond means you get more like coins. It means you get more quartz, but keep in mind it also means that you reach max bond faster, which then means if you're trying to use your units efficiently, it's like, oh, like for instance, your support units, they're gonna reach bond 15 very quickly if you are using them in the Bleached Earth nodes. So take that like in mind and understand, like, that's why so many people, like, if you're doing the Oprichniki node in Russia, you can death proc that node. If you're doing the QP node in Las Vegas, you can death proc that node. So that's why some people choose to do that, is they're trying to save themselves having to use their supports. Want to watch the movies of Conan the Barbarian? What if you could play the movies of Conan the Barbarian? Any good comps for the shells? Brute forcing it with a really strong AoE like saber is usually a good idea. But that one is kind of a nasty one. Some nodes can be procced, yeah. Due to the actual like rarity of the enemies is not too strong, even though they have a lot of health. AoE Zerker works too, yeah. Just be careful, because I know a lot of people try to run Morgan into the shell node, and like I said, it's like it's not, Morgan's not going to have a huge advantage because there's no Earth attribute there. Or not Earth, man, sorry. I don't know why my brain was thinking Earth. Okay, 144 slots, so this is out of 400, so we're still already doing pretty solid there. We're getting close on the QP cap, though. Chat. Did I get all of my faux pas? Were there any faux pas in the limited time missions, chat? Faux pas are just an extra? Let me double check. Okay, so I think that's all just foes. To be fair, I hadn't spent them in a hot second, so... Whee! 52 million down each time. Okay, so the two Lartorias are maxed. I am professionally obligated. Haven't done them at all yet? Yeah. I just like, I'm good because I already have units that I can easily use and abuse for this sort of thing. So I have 279. It's, how much is it per card, chat? It's like, is it 25 per card for a total of 125 for a unit? So I have enough here for two more units. When I come around. I won't regret doing it, Squirtoria. One paw per week is a scam? Oh, 100%. Now the question is, do I sit on these? Or do I use them? Yeah, I'll sit on it for right now. We're back down to 1 million at least. So that's been 700k. You know what? I need 125, chat. Chat, how many? Well, we don't know the exact date of summer. Okay, we'll save 125. I mean, like, within reason, I could count the number of weeks, like 1 week at a time, and be like 1 per week, and then do that. But we don't know the exact date. Always been maxing? No, I mean, that's not even really min maxing. I could min max that even harder. Like I said, I could calculate roughly the amount of time until summer, say this is how many weeks, and this is how many more of those that I could use. But I think chat's right. I think I sit on it. And I think I try to find other ways to spend down QP. Top 3 servants you personally want to see in Summer 10 this year. Okay. A saber face, and a saber face. Daring today, aren't we? Exactly. Cat, if you ask, you gotta understand, you're gonna get, when you ask for like the biased answer, you're gonna get the biased answer. That's always how I am. You know that. I try to be unbiased as all hell when I'm talking game mechanics and stuff. But if you really want to know what I want, you will get the answer you don't want. We need more Rins, enough Sabers. Listen, I have no problem with there being more Rins. But it doesn't have to be a mutually exclusive thing. Everyone's always like, we need more of this and less of this. I'm like, no, we just need more of everything, chat. Problem solved, right? Anyways, we got MHXA done. We are now neck deep in the support list here. We've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 120s done. And we are working on the 9th. Though the 9th, probably gonna take some time. And we will definitely have a 10th this year. Definitely. Get one rid every 5 years and you'll be happy about it. Jeez. Yeah. What do you think will be the dark horse pick for summer this year will be? I think the dark horse pick for summer this year will be a saber face. Is your mic okay? Looks super loose. Yeah, it's fine. It's because like the actual like gimbal that stops it from like sliding here needs to be tightened, but I don't have one of the. I need to find it. I did have one of those like Allen wrenches that you can use to tighten it. I just don't know what I did with it. Somewhere in this room. How is that a dark horse at this point? I feel like it's a dark horse. Because chat, I mean, like, y'all were expecting the first 3 saber faces. Nobody expects the 4th saber face. Because they've done 3 in 1 year before, chat. So. Have you seen anyone playing Dune? And if yes, how is it? No, I have not. I did see, I think you can download the, like, character creator and stuff for it already. But yeah, like, and I think the benchmark. But, again, like, yeah, we're going to be resetting the Conan server probably tonight. I got some stuff to test out. So, see you guys tomorrow. Anyways, let me see who all's on tonight. It's going to be it for me. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end of stream. Hopefully you guys are opening up your own boxes. Making good progress on that. I see CZ on, but I have raided CZ fairly recently. I'm actually going to send you guys over to Mr. Kaito. He's on. He won Flork of crows or cows. Flork, anyways, as he's known. He won Flork's artist support contest, so he actually has a new tablet. And he's been trying that out here, so we're going to go give him a watch. But yes, I'll be back tomorrow. Again, don't forget Mother's Day coming up. Get prepared. And I will see you guys for the next one. Have a good one.